Leading off for Kanab at the bottom of the second, the first baseman, number 8, Maddox Baird.
So Maddox Baird's going to be the first one to face Deegan Bailey for his second inning of work. He'll be followed by Waylon White and Keel Glover.
Yeah, and just watching the warm-ups, too, they had Regan Bradshaw come in and warm up while Cutler Matheson's getting his gear on and really focusing on keeping the ball down. And you even see the stance right here out of Matheson. And really good job of Deegan Bailey just kind of keeping the ball down. They know that's how they're going to beat this Kanab team, is to keep the ball below their hands.
And that first pitch is down there for strike one. Had him leaning for another low one down there. Looked like maybe a change-up or a slider down there, but it misses and he holds. Even things up a 1-1. It's on its way. There's a curveball that's fouled off right above the dugout for the Beavers. Strike two.
You know, when Beaver's sending someone down to the bullpen already, and I'm guessing, because we don't really know and don't have all the pitch counts, but they're really liking what they see so far out of Deegan Bailey, but probably trying to keep him, at that 35 pitch count.
They like to change too. They like a different look. Maddox was willing to wear that one.
Yeah,
wasn't
he was trying to get hit on that curveball, leaning in with his right knee, but not able to get hit, and it ends up staying inside for ball two.
But it buckled me at the knees.
Yeah,
I can see it now.
Yeah.
It's 2-2. Baird steps out. Have a look at the coach. Here's the 2-2. Oh, that does. He wears that one. So a hit by pitch.
I believe the other one would have felt a little better. That one took the fastball right on the number 8 as he turned his back into it and squared him up good.
So the first freebie given up by the Beaver Ball Club.
Number 23.
Hit by pitch.
Yeah, this is the scary part of Kanab's lineup. When you bring Waylon White to the plate, and you see Titan Fells already. He's 10 feet up on the grass, and they're going to take away anything as far as the bunt, which he does square right here.
So that first pitch is up. Well, one of the things it does is you see right there, it gives Deegan Bailey something else to think about.
Well, you got first baseman, got to hold the runner, third baseman in tight, so it creates a lot of room on the ground if Waylon White can hit something hard on the ground.
There's a pitch on that outside corner for strike one.
The other two that you see with the outfield is Beaver. They brought in all their outfielders. They don't want anything to, drop in front of them. They want to be able to come in and take away the hit from Waylon White, keep him off the bases.
There's a throw to first, close. Waylon White, we have seen him, drive that ball, especially the gap in left center field.
Yeah, and right now it's one of those things that Beaver's willing to bring the outfielders in and challenge him to try to hit something over him, but they want to take away any base hit in front.
So the pitch in there, that's when it's driven. That ball's deep. But tracked down out there by Jake Norman, the right fielder. Like I said, that's just nearly to the warning track.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Norman ran a long ways. That ball was hit well, but it hung up in the air. It wasn't really a line shot, and it gave him time to run under that. So really nice play, but Waylon White scored that one up well.
Yeah, that little wind. I think both Bentley Bradshaw might have had a chance to get at that as well. Wind coming from that north might have held that up.
Yeah, and it helped the right fielder be able to run, make that play.
So that brings up Cale Glover with one out. Baird still at first base. Another throw over to first. In the dirt, but a good dig there by Hoyt Blomquist.
Yeah, Blomquist had a really good game at first base defensively yesterday, and so far already, it's nice when you have a first baseman like Blomquist over there that you can trust as far as a pitcher, and Deegan Bailey's not afraid to throw over there.
Squares the bunt, pulls it back. Matheson throws behind Baird, but not in time. So that pitch, ball one to Cale Glover. So the wheels are turning here. See if they can start moving some infielders around. Never know what's going to happen. Put the pressure on. Both teams do it the same way. He does square it again and pulls back. Takes ball two.
Yeah, and right now at some point you have to say, if you're Beaver and if you're Deegan Bailey, if they're going to bunt, I'm just going to throw a strike in there. We're going to take the out, but don't want to walk this guy and lose him and to put runners at first and second. And Coach Fox, he's okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah, square early, show that you're going to bunt, and if it's not a strike, pull back. We'll take the walk.
Do it again, and he does bunt right at the pitcher. Good bunt. The only place they can go is first base for the out. They do get the 5-3 put out for out number 2, but that does move.
Good execution, too, from Kel Glover, and the first one to meet him before he comes in the dugouts. Coach Fox giving him knuckles, telling him nice job, way to move the runner, and playing some small ball, doing the little things it takes to get that runner in scoring position. Now it's up to Lane Sims. See if he can't drive him in and get that early 1-0 lead for Kanab.
One of the things that Coach Fox mentioned to me in the pregame was, he needs some good 2-out hits here with runners on. We got that first one of the game right here in the second inning. Bottom of 2, 0-0. Lane Sims hits it right at the third base and fails. He fields it, throws across, gets by Blomquist. We're going to get the first run of the ball game. Play it home, but it's going to be too late. So, get the first error of the ball game. The E5 fails, had that ball kind of get into his midsection, had to hurry, and threw it by Blomquist there at first base.
Yeah, and that's why you do the little things. That's why Coach Fox is bunting, but the pressure on the defense, normally that's a play that Fells is going to field it cleanly and make the throw. That one, like you said, it just kind of rode up into him and got him a little deep and didn't get a good clean exchange from the glove hand to the throwing hand, and it allows the runner to come around, score, and then puts Lane Sims at second base.
Yep, and Blomquist takes first pitch inside and low for ball 1. So he has another chance as well for a 2-out RBI. I'm glancing at somebody in the Beaver dugout. I'm not sure what that was about. But that's a ball that's hit off the end of the bat towards the second baseman. Boston Black, he's up with it to cross the diamond for out number 2. Then the 4-3 put out for out number 3. But the Beavers come up with 1 run. They do so on no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 2 complete, it's 1-0 the Kanab Cowboys. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Kanab in the second, they got 1 run on no hits, 1 error, 1 runner left on base.
At V6 Media, we specialize in helping businesses tell their stories with powerful and engaging video. But telling your story is just the starting point. Telling it to the right people in the right place is how you make it count. Our team can help by delivering your ad in places like Google, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll make sure that your business is being seen. Your business has a story to tell. Let us help. V6.
Paint projects go more smoothly when you use Jones Paint and Glass, because we're as excited as you are about your project. Our paint experts know their paint and will work with you to help you find the perfect paint products for your needs. They'll help ensure you get the color you're hoping for and that you're able to get the job done right the first time. Stop by Jones Paint and Glass to speak with an expert today.
KSBC.
Yeah, you're as live as it gets. Willie Akers and Nolan Anderson here at Gates Field. Maddox Bear Bracken McQuiggan, I'm saying, should just finished up his warm-ups to go to work here in the 3rd inning. Top of the 3rd, Beaver's going to bring up Deegan Bailey, Hoyt Blomquist, and Jake Norman. Down 1-0.
Deegan Bailey.
Yeah, and you see R.J. Magnette throw that down on the throw down. Just an excellent arm, and that's the one thing that Beaver's going to maybe have to do themselves is think about bunting, moving guys around, getting them in scoring position, because they're not just going to be able to steal a base like normally.
R.J. Magnette doesn't waste effort. He's serious about the game of baseball. He doesn't just lob the pitch down there. Oh, good curveball as well from
we saw that last time in the second inning. McQuivy really's got that curveball working, and it's got that good sinking action to it, and shows right there as Deegan Bagley just swings over the top.
Yep, it dropped right off the table, 11-5 there. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs, right at McQuivy. But, by self-preservation, he sticks the glove up there, and it sticks in the ball glove for the L1.
Yeah, that ball was hit hard as McQuivy threw another curveball. That one hung up just a little bit, and Deegan Bailey, line shot right back to McQuivy with quick reflexes, makes the catch.
So, White Blomquist for his first time at bat here in the top of the third. First pitch right there. After going full count on the first two batters that he faced, he's kind of dialed things in.
Yeah, throwing really well so far.
There's that. Looked like he just took something off of that one. Wasn't a curveball, but it was definitely a little less velocity.
Yeah, maybe just kind of a little straight change right there, and it works well as Blomquist swings right through that one.
So the 0-2 to Blomquist. Curveball, got him down underneath. Oh.
Yeah, McQuivy's kind of just shaking his head like, you bet, I've got it. And Magnette, firing it down as they get the strikeout right there. But McQuivy's kind of getting in the zone right now.
Yep. Second strikeout to go with one base on balls by Bracken McQuivy at this point. Brings up Jake Norman. Jake in on the right-hand side. He's choked up a couple inches. Takes ball one. Here's the 1-0. Right there. That's going to find a hole. Griffin Bone made a valiant effort at it, but that got through the 5-6 hole there for the first hit of the ball game for the Beavers.
Yeah, Jake Norman batting in the ninth spot, playing right field. We saw him last inning make a nice catch on that one ball that Waylon White hit deep to right center. Now he gets a little hit to get this offense going here with 2 outs.
So 2 outs, that brings up Bentley Bradshaw. Bentley had struck out looking his first time up. McQuivy goes to first. No, not in time.
It's interesting to me, too, with Magnette catching back there, but we still see a lot of throws over to first base. But I think that's just to say, hey, we're going to keep you close, and if you dare try it, we've got Magnette behind the plate.
Yep, just a slide step from McQuivy to deals strike one right there. Yeah, he's going to help out Magnette. You're not going to give him the big lead. He's going to keep him close, with either the look over or the throw over. And let R.J. Magnette do his job.
That last pitch really got the Beaver fans going. They did not like that one, but strike one to Bentley Bradshaw.
The 0-1's upstairs. The ball one. He seems up 1-1.
He looks back to at the umpire like, was that one up? And the umpire says, yeah, and he looks at his coach and puts out his hand like, I'm not sure I know where the zone is, but that's been pretty consistent right there.
Well, the last thing you want to do is get the ump shook. There's another throw to first.
He's, for the most part, called it pretty close to.
Pretty consistent.
It's got to be kind of that belt to knee, or he hasn't called that high strike.
So the 1-1, 2 outs. Norman at first base, got a good lead. That one's up from McQuivy.
Yeah, 2-1 right here, kind of a hitter's count. You might see Coach Carter try to get Norman started right here, and then Bentley Bradshaw, if it's in there, there's 2 outs, but go ahead and swing away.
Yeah, good shot. Then you still got back to your top of the lineup if he gets thrown out. Put something in the hole, he might score. There's one that's in the hole. It's over there to the right field. Going to go first to third with Jake Norman. Second hit. Throw back behind him. They're calling him safe.
Yeah, and I think Coach Fox is upset he never got back to the bag right there. as the first baseman, Maddox Baird, kind of went down on one knee and blocked the bag. But Bradshaw's, he's a little hurting out there a little bit right now at first base, but really good job of cutting that ball off the Griffin Bone and firing it over to first base as Bradshaw took a big turn after that single to right field.
Number 4, Boston Black.
Have good heads-up play. Coach Fox on the edge of that dugout. I don't know if he's going to go out and talk to the umpire or what, but
I thought he was too, to be honest. He kind of got his 2 bits in and argued, and the umpire said no, so I guess he figures he's wasting his time to go talk to him. But I think he, from our angle, he had a pretty good argument. It didn't look like he got back the bag, and maybe the tag wasn't there and he reached around. I'm not sure.
So that brings up Boston Black. He takes strike 1.
Yeah, Coach Fox gave him the first, third defensive call. I would imagine, too, if you see, they'll throw the runner out with Magnette with his arm back there. So, Beavers going to have to realize that and know that if you can't get the stolen base, you got to try to stop and stand a rundown so that runner from third base can score.
Bradshaw faked like he was going to go. And the pitch is up. Even things up 1-1.
Yeah, Boston Black, he drew a walk his first time up, but he had a couple balls that were just a line drive and then a hard ground ball just foul down the third baseline in his first time up. So he's capable of turning on any pitch. Glover is playing literally on the line, too.
To the outside. Man has to come up out of his stance and get out there to stop that one from getting to the backstop. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, 2 runners on. 1-run ball game in favor of Kanab right now. We are in the top of the 3rd inning. Beaver threatening. There's one that's popped up going towards center field. Waylon White. He circles and comes back. And he's got it. Got number 3. So the F8 ends the so-called rally. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. So at the end of 2.5, it's 1-0 Kanab. We're on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. Number 22, Jackson Riddle, is up to the plate. Deegan Bailey, he hits that first one right at Titan Field, makes a good diving catch, comes across the infield with the 5-3. Well, the Blue was about ready to give him the safe sign, but
yeah, Fells, he felt really bad on that last play in that last inning where he makes the throwing error and allows Kanab to score one. He made up for it right there as that ball was going to be a base hit. He fully extends, lays out, dives for it. Once he fields it, he comes up and throws a rocket to first base for the out.
Great play. That's the highlight reel. This R.J. Magnette popped up to the third baseman his first time up, takes strike 1.
And we saw him yesterday take one deep to left field for a home run and then had a double in that game as well. And he's capable of doing that right here if you don't keep the ball down and out of his power alley.
Yeah, he likes that ball up in the middle half. Not quite that high. Takes ball 1. you get that ball up at the belt, you got some problems maybe. You want to stay down there at the knees. Here's the 1-1. Curve ball in the dirt. Ball 2.
Yeah, and that's a good pitch right there from Bailey to drop that one down on the plate right there. But Mognet has he's a catcher. He understands the zone. He knows balls and strikes, and he read that one and laid off it.
Here's the 2-1. That's down. That's down where you want to pitch him. Just doesn't get the call. 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1 right here. He's going to be swinging out of his shoes if it's anywhere close.
Oh, and it was up, but it was in, and he turned on it and fouled it off.
Yeah, fouled it right over here into the Beaver dugout on this third base side. So evens the count full now, 3-2.
1 out. Deegan Bailey facing R.J. Mognet. Here's the pitch. Yeah, that's just a nubber. That's just going to get out there no farther than Kobe Carter right off the end of the bat for the L6. Now number 2.
Yeah, got that one right off the end of the barrel.
The shortstop,
Just a little too far out in front of
It
it.
was up there where he wanted it, though. That was in the wheelhouse. He just turned on it pretty quick. A little bit off speed there. Brings up Griffin Bone. Grounded out to the shortstop. On the inside portion for ball 1. They're yelling at it, but we're sitting back there. That was in the batter's box. He's asking where it was.
Yeah, both teams starting to chirp. Yeah, they're getting fired up right there. That ball was probably inside.
The John is on.
Yeah.
There's a curveball that's hit high towards left field. Luke Robinson coming in. He's got it for out number 3. So they have 7. Ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 3, it's 1-0 Kanab Cowboys over the Beaver Beavers on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. The Acres, Nolan Anderson back here at Gates Field. Kanab Cowboys hold a 1-0 lead over the Beaver Beavers. We're going into the top of the 4th. Bracken McQuivley still on the mound here for his 4th inning of work. Just finishing up his warm-up tosses. Those pitches I had Bracken coming into this inning with 39 pitches. We talked about that, days of rest. From 1 to 35 pitches, you don't have to rest. You do have a limit of 75 over 2 consecutive days. 36 to 60 pitches 1 day, 61 to 85 2 days, 86 to 110 3 days. So got 1 day left in this tournament. Both coaches watching the thing. Got the UHSAA tracking things. Kurt over here to our left. Here's Kobe Carter. Take the first pitch. Curveball catches the corner for strike one.
Yeah, McQuivey's really found the curveball since that second inning. He's done a nice job with that. Beaver, however, does have the 2 hits, but no runs. Kanab has the 1 run, still looking for their first hit.
Well, thought they called a balk, but there's a ball on the field. So we're going to do it again. Still got both dugouts jawing at each other here. The 0-1 pitch to Kobe Carter from Bracken McQuivey. Another curveball in the dirt, blocked there by R.J. Magnet. Talked about R.J., good defensive skills, good arm. Probably one of the strongest arm of the catchers in 2A right now. And popping the bat.
Yeah.
1-1 to Kobe Carter. Watches ball 2 down low on the curveball.
Yeah, he wanted to swing at that one, but recognized it early that it was going to be down and stay down, and was able to hold up, stay off that pitch.
Crowd in the plate, open stance. Another one, all 3 in the dirt.
Yeah, now Beavers dugouts, got a 3-1 count. They're getting excited, chance to get that lead runner on base here.
Kobe Carter with good speed. Here's the 3-1. Oh, they call that strike. Carter was on his way to first base. Tell you what, umpires can have long memories. Daniel Carter starts down and thinks better of it, walks back.
Wisely turns around. It's not worth arguing right there on just a strike 2 this early in the game.
Yeah, top of the 4th inning, 1-0. Curveball's outside, no doubt on that one. Base on balls given up to Kobe Carter. That's a second. 2 strikeouts, 2 base on balls. That's going to bring up Titan Fails. Made a couple good defensive plays here. Early innings.
Yeah, grounded out to third base, his first time up.
Good sharp one to Cale Glover over there. Here's the pitch. It's inside. He's been calling that ball on the inside corner. Well, you got the Beavers. Every one of them crowding that plate. They're as close as they can legally be.
Yeah, and Kanab right from the get-go says we're going to throw you inside. So those balls are on the inside part of the plate, but maybe seem like they're a little further in than they really are.
Yep. Kobe Carter's got a good lead. There's a swing and a miss, and one I think he just took a little off there. I think he got a straight change.
Yeah, that was a good changeup, and Fell's way out ahead of it right there. Pretty big hack, but just too far out front.
Good way to attack these guys. They're aggressive when they swing.
Well, that's the one thing, talking to Coach Carter before the game is their strength, felt like just continue to hit the baseball.
The 0-2 on the way. Curveball got him swinging over the top of it. Strike 3.
Yeah, and that was a Magnet right there. A lot of catchers don't catch that foul tip cleanly, but he does, and that's first out of the game. For this inning.
3rd strikeout for Bracken McQuivey. Carter takes a good lead there at first. Throw over to first. I think with R.J. Magnet back there, all you need to do is look him back over there. Don't take the chance of giving him an extra base. Maybe 2 if it gets down there. Ricochets off that concrete wall you were talking about earlier. Here's the first pitch to Matheson. Swing and a miss on the curveball. Cutler hit a nubber right back to the first baseman. Back in the 2nd inning. McQuivey went up and got it. Threw a strike to Maddox Baird there at first base. So 0-1. Carter at first base with 1 out. Bracken McQuivey on the mound still for the Cowboys. Another throw over.
Yeah, and he went back in standing up, so he can get another step out there. But he had a big lead, but he just quick back to the back. So, you know, you take another step probably, and then just take one big step and dive back.
So here's the 0-1. Side step, that one's popped to the right side. It's going to get out of play. Strike 2 to Cutler Matheson. And then Matheson was down 0-2 back in the second inning when he hit one off the end of the bat right back at Bracken McQuivy, trying to pull the outside pitch. We've talked about that, you know. Got to try and shoot that ball to right field because that's probably where they're going to throw him again. Down and away. Could do the curveball, could just be the change that he's been showing. Goes up high, pops him up.
And that's a pitch, just tried that high fastball, so you would think maybe right here McQuivy comes back to the curveball, and this might be the chance on an 0-2 count. If you're going to try to steal the bases, expect maybe a curveball right here and try to get Kobe Carter down there second base.
Another throw across there. Got somebody throwing their toy balls over there. I think we've got Brendan Jackson, UHSAA, playing with the little balls down here. Going to have a talk with him between innings here. Swing and a miss on a good curveball down there to Cutler Matheson for out number 2.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back strikeouts, really big for McQuivy and the Kanab Cowboys. At some point, you might see Carter try to get down there to second base and get him in scoring position. Dallas Yardley coming up to the plate, popped up to first, his first time up.
4 strikeouts for McQuivy. Carter, now he stretches out just a little bit more. First pitch to Yardley. That's a curveball. Got the high call on that one. So it's not set in stone. 0-1, 2 outs. Got a runner on first. Kobe Carter. Beaver down by 1. Another throw from McQuivy. He's thrown more at Carter here than he's thrown at the plate almost this inning.
Yeah, he really has, and, you know, for good reason. You know, Carter's the tying run there on first base, and Beaver wanting to get him to second base, and Kanab wanting to keep him right there.
And one of the faster Beavers as well. So the 0-1 to Yardley. On its way, there goes Carter. And that one's whipped, but right at the left fielder who makes a great catch. How they're saying that it was down. Got down on the ground. Nope. Going to go to second. No. So, sinking line drive for a base hit.
Yeah, really good job right there, too. You got Jackson Riddle out there at second base, did a nice job just going to his knees on that throw down to second, trying to get Yardley going from first to second, just to keep it in front of him, not let it get by him, and allow Carter to come in from third base. So Beaver right now with 2 guys in scoring position at runners with Carter at third base, and then you got Yardley at second base.
Deegan Bailey lined one hard back at McQuivy, his first time up. So 2 outs. Bailey asked for timeout. Good effort out there by Carson Blomquist, though. And no argument from Coach Mason Fox. Good call from the blue out there. It did. You could see it hit the ground right as it got to the glove.
Yeah, really good job of just getting it on that short hop versus, kind of trapped it right there, but didn't let it get past him.
So the first pitch to Bailey. 2 outs, 2 on. That's hit right at the third baseman Glover. He retreats, picks it up, throws a strike to first base for the out. So the 5-3 put out ends any chance of scoring a run. No runs on. What do they have? Just the 1 hit. Yeah, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. So at the end of 3.5, it's still 1-0 Kanab on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Beaver in the 4th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left on base.
Is how Our team can help. By Media, we specialize in helping businesses tell their stories with powerful and engaging video. But telling your story is just the starting point. Telling it to the right people in the right place is how you make it count. Our team can help. By delivering your ad in places like Google, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, we'll make sure that your business is being seen. Your business has a story to tell. Let us help. V6.
And back here at Gates High School, quick shout out to some of the V6 media sponsors. Gateway St. Clair is locally owned and operated and has served Duchesne for 22 years. Stop by for a car, a truck wash, Subway sandwich, hot stuff pizza, and lots of delicious snacks. They also have a free RV dump, clean bathrooms, and the friendliest staff around. So Bracken McQuivy coming up in the bottom of the fourth inning here, takes first pitch down low for ball one.
Yeah, McQuivy doing a nice job on the mound. You know, he's give up just the 3 hits, but no runs so far.
Here's a 1-0. That ball's lifted to the right side. If it stays fair, nope, it's up there on the grassy knoll.
And we see a lot of those where, players have a chance right here because that fence retaining wall comes down the line right there in the corner, but a lot of balls you have that chance either to get them or they're just out of play.
So the 1-1 about to be delivered by Deegan Bailey. Curveball misses down low for ball 2.
Beavers coaches come out and move the center fielder Bentley Bradshaw. He was kind of playing on the right side of second base out there and kind of on the right center field side. Now he's on the left center field side.
2-1s down and away for ball 3. Defending state champs down 1-0 right now in the bottom of the fourth inning. McQuivy takes 2-1 pitch right down the middle.
Yeah, really good pitch. That's a tough one to lay off of, but at the same time, Kanab trying to get base runners. We've seen Coach Fox already move guys in scoring position, so they want to get someone to first base with no outs.
There's the payoff pitch, and it's hit on the line right straight at Bentley Bradshaw out there in center field for base hit.
Yeah, right where the coaches moved him, but that was just a line shot. Hits just behind the infield dirt.
So just the first hit in the ball game for Kanab, even though they've got the 1-run lead. Beaver leads with hits 3-1, but they do have the lone error in the ball game as well. Brings up Maddox Baird. He walked and scored the only run of the game. Takes the first pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Maddox Baird batting in the 4th spot right here. Coach Fox like to see him drive something in a gap.
He lifts that to the left side. That's going to get out of play, foul. Just a loud, long strike. Cutler Matheson, good defensive catcher back there. Not quite as strong an arm or as quick a release as R.J. Magnette, but if you don't get the good jump, he can throw you out. So the 1-1. Throw to first, not in time. Deegan Bailey trying to keep Bracken McQuivy close there. The 1-1. Oop, in the dirt. Umpire said he went.
Yeah, that one, that time he dropped it right in front of the plate. Didn't quite get it 60 feet 6 inches, but Baird he did cross the the zone there where it's either did he check his swing or did he not? And I think they got him. Well, he dropped the ball, but they had him.
Dropped the ball.
Yep.
They had McQuivy leaning, but dropped the ball.
Well, what happened is he was taking that little couple hop step lead, and that's right when Bailey threw over.
The hop shorter this time.
Yeah.
There's the pitch. There he goes, and it's hit in the air behind him. And Norman comes in, calls him off, and makes the catch on the F9 for out number 1. McQuivy retreats. He had gone on the pitch. Hung up there about halfway to check things out. Retreated.
23, Waylon White.
So Waylon White, they're going to move the outfield around here. Titan Fales is in there. About 3 foot on the infield grass.
Yeah, and this is one where third baseman's going to take away that bunt down the third baseline, but Waylon White, if he could drag bunt and pull it with him down that first baseline, with first baseman holding the runner, that'd be a pretty tough play for anybody to get him out.
Led off with the curveball. It's down and low on the inside portion for ball 1. Throw over there, trying to get him again.
Kind of that same move. And McQuivy, he's got to watch that. That's something that Beavers picked up on, and they had him picked off if Blomquist could have kept a hold of the ball.
Yeah. There's one that's ripped in that hole that's left there by having to hold him on. McQuivy's going to hold up at second base. That one was ripped off the bat of Waylon White.
Yeah, he hit that ball really hard, and that's why it got to Norman so quickly, and McQuivy has to hold up at second base. But now Kanab making some noise here with 1 out. Got runners at first and second.
The third baseman,
2 hits
11,
in the inning, or the only 2 hits for the Kanab, even though they have the 1-run lead, courtesy of a walk and some errors back in that first inning, or second inning, I should say. So that brings up Cale Glover. He grounded out to Titan Fales there at third base for the second out back in the second inning. First pitch. He hits one, just gets over the glove, but Norman's in quick, and they're not going to test the thing. 3 straight hits here.
Yeah, with 2 outs right there, you might have seen Coach Brinkerhoff over there, the third base coach for Kanab, sending McQuivy, but with only 1 out, wisely holds him up.
Yeah, Coach Daniel Carter's going to go out and have a talk to his pitcher. Well, there's a break in the action, and we'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. DP Curtis Trucking works hard to move America and get their drivers home on the weekend. DP Curtis hires reliable drivers with competitive starting pay and raises after 90 days. Additional pay for tarps, drops, picks, and additional trailers. Employment options include insurance, 401k, paid vacation, and attainable bonuses, and more. Why would you drive for anyone else? Call DP Curtis Trucking for details, 435-893-2886. That's 893-2886, or click on dpcurtis.com.
Hello, this is Brenda Bartholomew, CEO of Gunnison Valley Hospital. We are celebrating 90 years this year. We're planning on celebrating all year long. On behalf of the providers, past and present, and our amazing staff, we extend a thank you to all who have been with us in this journey of success. We have loved taking care of the people of Central Utah since 1932. We look forward to serving you for the next 90 years.
The Intermountain Power Service Corporation is committed to supporting our local schools, communities, and the economies of central and south central Utah. Each year, IPSC's 2 950-megawatt generating units provide 3 million megawatt hours of energy for communities in Utah and Southern California. The Intermountain Power Project ranks among the best of coal-based power plants in reliability, cost-effectiveness, and environmental responsibility. IPSC, honored to sponsor this sports broadcast.
Jones & DeMille Engineering is proud to be a part of Utah's rural communities and loves to cheer on the youth of rural Utah. We take great pride in helping shape the quality of life by offering full engineering and architectural services, municipal and private business software solutions, and community involvement. Jones & DeMille is your go-to resource for planning, funding, designing, and infrastructure needs. We strive to serve with a professional, personalized rural touch to provide value that reaches beyond the project. Jones & DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life together.
Life's hard. Don't make it harder. Shop the Jorgensen Automotive Group. The Jorgensen Auto Group bursts the bubble of the big city car deals. Jorgensen Ford Richfield, Jorgensen Chevrolet Ephraim, dealing experiences that fit your lifestyle and budget. You can even shop from the seat of your britches at both Jorgensen dealerships. Sit down or pull over and click on JorgFord.com or JorgChev.com. Start your lifestyle story free of the after-deal remorse you often get in the big city. Enjoy the experience at the Jorgensen Automotive Group.
Your source for high school sports.
KSVC.
Okay, Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here. I think we got things figured out. The new pitcher, Dallas Yardley. Deacon Bailey moves to second. Boston Black to left field. And Luke Robinson comes out of the ball game. First pitch, Lane Sims is up for ball one.
Yeah, loaded bases right here for Kanab for Lane Sims with just the one out. So infield for Beaver comes in on the grass. They're going to look to go 4-1 right here, try to get a double play, but definitely get the out at home plate.
So Dallas Yardley comes up and in. He threw 35 pitches yesterday, so he's got 40 pitches at his disposal here today.
Yeah, looking to try to drive something out of the infield where he can pick up that runner there at third base.
Appreciate Kurt with UHSAA tracking pitches for the tournament. Oh, was swing and a miss. Lane Sims on one that was up in the strike zone.
Yeah, hitters count 2-0 right there, and he took a hack at it, but a little bit up and in, and really probably not a pitch you're really wanting to swing at. You want something out over the plate that you can drive outfield and even into that right center field gap.
There's the 2-1 up. Don't have to worry about that one. No doubter, Cutler Matheson goes out there to talk to Dallas Yardley, settling down a little bit. Not abnormal to have the adrenaline coming in there, try to do a little bit more than you need to do with that baseball.
Yeah, and right here, Yardley just got to settle in and throw a strike. You don't want to give him a freebie on the walk right here.
So, bases loaded, one out, 3-1 count to Lane Sims. Kanab holds a one-run lead with the bases full of Cowboys. Yeehaw. Here's the 3-1. Down in the dirt. It's going to bring in a run.
Yeah, and that one he just tried to guide it in there instead of just throw it. And Lane Sims draws the base on balls and picks up a RBI.
So, 2-0. Base is still full of Cowboys, and that brings up Cale Glover. Cale grounded out to Titan Fails there at third base. They're going to play it the same way. Everybody's in on the infield, going to try and go 4-1. Curveball going to catch that inside corner.
Yeah, and Carson Blomquist grounded out to second base. Same situation, trying to get a pitch you can drive out of the infield.
Yeah, and if he hits it in that same place, it's probably going to get through the infield where he hit it last time. Drawn in like this. Everybody good leads. Curveball in the dirt. Here again, yeah, Yardley's kind of trying to guide that ball, kind of like he's got the string on the end of it, and it's not working.
Yeah, just got to throw the ball. Trust yourself. Trust your defense behind you, and a really good job of blocking the ball there on the curveball, too.
Just go to your pocket with your follow-through there. Get out on the ball of that foot. Beaver sending a couple people down to the bullpen there in left field. Here's the 1-1. Fastball right down the middle. I'm not sure what Blomquist was looking for on that one, but he didn't see it.
Yeah, that one, he missed an opportunity for sure on that fastball. Now he's down the count 1-2. Beaver sending multiple players down the bullpen. They don't want this to get out of hand right here.
Got two sets of pitchers running down there and didn't catch any. Well, there were a bunch of numbers, so it's hard to sort them out between who's catching and who's throwing down there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases full of Cowboys. There's the pitch. Curveball that's lifted to left field. Carter's going to be back there, the infield fly rule. Out number 2 on the F6. So they can back up now. Jackson Riddle comes to the plate. He grounded out to the third baseman his first time up.
The second baseman, number 22.
Yeah, good adjustment that time after walking the first batter that Yardley faces. He comes back and Gets a big out right there, so 2 outs, but it's not over yet. Kanab still loaded bases and Riddle capable of driving in a couple runs right here.
So, Yardley ready to deliver. Playing behind at first base there. Curveball, he dials that one in.
Yeah, good looking pitch. You see the red dot on that one. You know,
Yep.
You try to pick up the rotation of the baseball, and you can see that one pretty good.
Riddle grounded out on the first pitch he saw back in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch, another curveball upstairs, and he takes a whack at it. Can't make contact. 0-2. 0-2, 2 outs. Number 22 at bat. And a 2-0 ball game.
Yeah, with White on third base, too, they're going to stay and throw out of the stretch.
There's one that slipped. That's going to score at least one. They're going to hold him. It's a good thing they did because that throw. They got guy hung up at third.
There's nobody at home.
They lucked out there. A single scores one.
Yeah, big time hit right there, but just about ran himself out of an inning right there. Is runner held up at third, which, like you said, it was good he did because perfect throw to home, but the runner from first thought the guy from second scored, so he was trying to get to third base.
Checking here to see if there were 2 runners on third base. There used to be an out if you had 2 runners occupying the same base. Don't know if he actually touched third base.
Now batting the catcher, number 26, Randy.
So regardless, the man you probably don't want to have up with the bases loaded for the Kanab Cowboys is R.J. Magnette. And he stands in with 2 outs.
Yeah, no place to put him.
2 runs across in the inning, and you got to be careful. There's the first pitch from Yardley. Curveball that sees good. Boy, that ball is hit hard, but looks like Bentley Bradshaw's got room, and he makes the catch for the F8, but he gave it a ride. So, got 2 runs on 4 hits. No errors and 3 runners left on base. After 4 complete, 4-0 or 3-0. That's right, 3-0 Kanab. You're on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Kanab in the 4th, they got 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 3 runners left on base.
Paint projects go more smoothly when you use Jones Paint and Glass because we're as excited as you are about your project. Our paint experts know their paint and will work with you to help you find the perfect paint products for your needs. They'll help ensure you get the color you're hoping for and that you're able to get the job done right the first time. Stop by Jones Paint and Glass to speak with an expert today.
When you hear the crash, you better think Jones.
Baseball, Kanab Cowboys starting top of the 5th inning. McQuibby out there for his 5th inning of work. Came in the inning with 55 pitches. They hold a 3-0 lead. He's going to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. White Blomquist, Jake Norman, and Bentley Bradshaw. R.J. Magnette throws down another strike. I love to watch him.
Yeah, really surprised too. When Beaver did finally get Kobe Carter moving, it was a pitch that was hit into left field for an out, but nobody's dared try it yet.
And then if Magnette would have pulled that ball, about to left field, that was gone easy. There's the first pitch hit right at Griffin Bone. Across the, good dig there by Maddox Baird. He owes him.
Yeah.
Hot dog right there.
Yeah, Bone scooped that one up and zipped it across there, but it was low, and Baird with a nice scoop.
So, with the 4 hits, last inning, Kanab does take the lead, 4 hits to 3, a 3-0 lead on the scoreboard. Lone error right now is to Beaver. Brings up Jake Norman. Had a single his last time up, was stranded at third. There's a curveball. Not a break, but just way out of the strike zone for ball 1. So, top of the 5th here, 3-0 Kanab. Bracken McQuivy still on the mound for Coach Mason Fox. Ball's up and in.
Yeah, Norman just about wore that one right there on the inside part of the plate, but he does a really good job in the 9th spot. He's kind of like that second leadoff, just finds a way to get on base.
There's one that's going to find a hole. Gets right out there to Waylon White in center field for the 4th hit of the ball game for the Beavers.
Yeah, and 2 of those by Jake Norman, back-to-back singles, and gets this inning going, bringing up Bentley Bradshaw.
So Bentley Bradshaw, Boston Black on deck. Bentley's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Struck out looking in the 1st, had a single. Back in the 3rd, stranded at first base. So McCribby ready to deliver. First pitch, curveball right there. He's dialed in that curveball again.
Yeah, he's thrown it really well, and it's, the 4 hits have been pretty scattered. They haven't been able to, they did put 2 together, but other than that, they haven't been able to get anything going.
Throw over there by McQuivy. Not in time. Norman back in plenty of time. So the 0-1 to Bentley Bradshaw. Another curveball fouled off into the screen here in the stands on the right-hand side. For strike 2. So 0-2.
Yeah, and if you look at the outfield, pretty shallow there in right field. Center not too deep either, but left field playing a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And that wind's coming in right to, now the left fielder is really going to shift towards center field.
Bradshaw hit line drive hitter. He's choked up a couple inches on the bat. No, he just swings and waves at strike 3.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get down 0-2. It makes it tough, and you just got to try to battle. And right there, got caught chasing that pitch kind of up and out of the zone.
So the 5th strikeout for Maddox, or for Bracken McQuibby. I don't know why I keep on calling him Maddox Baird. Does have the 2 walks. Bentley Bradshaw was one of those walks. Then a fly out to center field is up next. McQuibby tries Norman at first base again, but he's back. Here's the pitch. Fastball stays up for ball 1.
Yeah, Boston Black started out in second base. They've moved him out to left field now, but has done a nice job in the 2 spot right here for Beaver. And Coach Carter would like to see him continue to get something going and give Kobe Carter a chance to come up to plate here with 2 outs.
There's that curveball. Does it in, kind of froze Boston there at the plate.
Yeah, McQuivey's definitely not overpowering by any means. He does a really good job throwing just the fastball, the straight change. He's got a nice curveball, and he's really mixed it up well, and it's kept these Beaver hitters off balance. They can't just dig in and sit on just one pitch.
So Boston Black steps out, getting a signal from Coach Carter there at third base. One ball, one strike. Looking, Boston Black does have good speed. Cale Glover playing back there at third base. 2-out bunts, not out of the question here. Like you say, you want to try and get Kobe Carter up there to the plate. If he can get a bunt down on that third base line with his speed, he's probably on base. He's going to he goes to the alley out there. They're going to score their first run. Norman's coming around. Black's going to third. There's the throw. Gets by him. Gets backed up good. So,
yeah, if that throw would have been on line here, you'd had a situation where if they get the out there at third base before Norman crosses home plate, they wouldn't have got that run in, but ball was just a little bit offline, and it took a couple bounces and got past Glover, but nice hit. And then Waylon White, too, kind of struggled to pick it up there cleanly in right center field. And that's going to get Beaver their first run, and Boston Black's there at third base now.
So Beaver's on the board with they got their 5th hit. And that brings up Kobe Carter with the runner there at third base. First pitch to Kobe's a curveball.
And that was the difference too, Willie. The difference in Boston Black getting a nice hit into the right center field gap versus getting out as he took the curveball. He hit it the right side. That's one thing that the Beavers have got to do a better job of, and that's even Norman. You've seen him get the hit that way. You got to drive the ball up the middle right side.
There's the one ball hit there. Thought he was going to call that pitch, but says it's outside. Ball 2. So the 2-ball pitch, 2-0. Kobe Carter. There's one that's on the outside portion, just like you talked about, though. He tried to pull that outside pitch.
Well, that's the difference. Instead of just driving that down the right field line or into the right center field gap and getting an extra base hit out of you, you gearing up and try to turn on a pitch, and you end up rolling over it, grounding out, or even popping that pitch up, and that time just fouls it off to the third base dugout.
Not trying to be critical, just want you to see what we see here. 2 balls, 1 strike. There's the pitch. That's going to find a hole. No. Good play there by Griffin Bone to dive and catch and try to go there, but Kobe Carter's going to get an infield hit on that one and score the second run for the Beavers.
Yeah, and the difference on that one is as opposed to the pitch before is that one was kind of middle in, and that time Kobe did exactly what he needed to, is drive it in that 5-6 hole, but Bone laying out, scoops it, just no chance at throwing him out at first base.
Yeah, Coach Mason Fox is going to go out and have a talk with his pitcher here while we're got a little break in action. Let's give another shout out here to the V6 media sponsors. Jones Paint and Glass has high quality paint brands including designer favorite Benjamin Moore at affordable prices. Visit their design experts in Vernal or Roosevelt to find the right color and paint for your next project. I'm going to stay with McQuivey. Just wanted to go out and settle him down.
Oh, we saw that yesterday too, Coach Fox. Team getting a little bit of a rally, getting some momentum, go out there, immediately talk to the team, settle them down, and try to shut down that momentum.
Yeah, that brings up tight and fails with 2 outs. Kobe Carter on first base. McQuivey deals to him. That was lifted to the left-hand side. Bones says he's got it, and he does. For out number 3, the P6. But Beavers come up with 2 runs. They do so on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. So after 4.5, it's a 3-2 ball game. Kanab Cowboys coming to bat on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
For Beaver in the fifth, they got 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
Out to a V6 sponsor. Larson Haslam Dental in Roosevelt has the latest dental technology and offers same-day crowns. Dr. Jake Richardson's accepting new patients. Call 722-0101 to schedule your appointment. Christine Watkins to coverage today, sponsored in part by State Representative Christine Watkins. She's a strong rural advocate for oil and gas, small businesses, education, and the Second Amendment. Uinta Basin Healthcare's mission is caring for our communities through access to compassionate, quality healthcare and investing in those we serve. Moon Lake Electric is a locally owned electric association with over 83 years providing dependable and affordable electric service to its membership. Its well-trained workforce of 90 employees and its state-of-the-art electrical system has set a standard of excellence in the electrical utility industry. All right, bottom of the 5th inning. For the Kanab Cowboys, just got to get on the right sheet. Going to be Griffin Bone. First pitch swinging, he drives one underneath the glove of a diving Deegan Bailey at second base there.
Yeah, 2 of them actually had a shot. The first one was Dallas Yardley, the pitcher. He couldn't quite stab it, and then Deegan Bailey gets under his glove, but nice hard hit ball. First pitch swinging, Griffin Bone.
Bracken McCreevy coming up with a chance to help himself out. He had a single back in the 4th inning and scored a run. He'll be followed by Maddox Baird. Dallas Yardley still on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Hit 13 pitches back there when he came in the 4th inning. Play at first, not in time. Beavers came up with 2 runs in their half of the 5th here. Kanab looking to answer back. There's the pitch. Strike 1. Kirby steps out.
Still got some people throwing down there in the Beaver bullpen.
Wax a little nostalgia back here. Take down the old scoreboard down there in the right field line. Got a couple kids up there setting in the perch.
Yeah, they used to use that, you know, flip it inning by inning, and you got to basically stay out there and then have little radios to communicate.
So here's the pitch. There goes the runner. The throw from Matheson. They got him as he went by, got him on the foot.
Yeah, and that's one of those momentum killers or builders, and that's going to shut down what Kanab had going right there, and fires up the Beavers.
Yeah, Coach Fox asking the first base umpire there where he got him.
Yeah, he says about 6 inches, and then the other part of that's strike 2 to Maddox Baird. Or McQuivy, sorry.
Yeah, Bracken McQuivy. That's what I've been doing. I started it. There's one that just whacked in first base. That's going to find a hole behind just down the first base line. Good hustle there from Bracken McQuivy to turn it into a double.
Pretty good speed right there. McQuivy was going from the get-go and really You know, that's what really hurts. You just get thrown out and then hit something like that. But
just
that's
the ball,
baseball.
you know, 40, 45 feet down the first base line, just inside fair territory, turns it into double. So with one out, that's going to bring up Maddox Baird. This is the guy I've been talking about.
Yeah. Well, and he's been hit by a pitch and flew out to right field.
Scored a run after being hit by a pitch back in the second inning. It was the first run for the Cowboys. That's what it was. We had a walk, the air, or it was hit by pitch. Ball one to Maddox Baird with McCrivey on second base. Not sure what Maddox was looking for, but that
really,
ball right down the...
Really good pitch. If you're a hitter, that's what you want. But nice pitch from Yardley, painting that inside part of the plate.
Yeah, he stepped back and asked him if that wasn't inside. And umpire said, no, right there. Shakes his head, steps back in. 1-1 on its way. Oh, that gets him on that little piece of the helmet you were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, Baird, you know, luckily for him, you know, he got his head turned just in time, and that ricochets right off the helmet. Coach Carter's going out. Like you say, they've had people warming up the last couple innings, and, you know, Kanab, runners at second and
he takes
first
the ball.
now.
So Cutler Matheson heading to the dugout. Not sure if maybe he's going to come in. So while we got a break in the action, let's get a word from our sponsors on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Attention, please. Now pitching for Beaver, number 13, Cutler Matheson.
Okay, Willie Akers, Nolan Anderson back here. Cutler Matheson goes from behind the plate to pitcher. Boston Black comes back into second base. Dallas Yardley goes out to left field. Deegan Bailey goes behind the plate. So 21 pitches for Dallas Yardley in his appearance.
Number 23, Waylon White.
So Waylon White will face Cutler Matheson with one out. Runners at first and second. A 3-2 lead for the Kanab Cowboys. Titan fails in on the grass at third base, as well as White Blomqvist at first base. Strike one for Matheson, comes kind of from the three-quarter, almost sidearm slot.
Yep, primarily been catching so far in this tournament. We saw him last year doing this exact same thing.
Very same thing, twice in one game, pitched twice in the one game, that I think the semifinal game. So the 0-1 to Waylon White. He turns around, squares, takes strike 2. He's shaking, he's saying, pull back too soon. Would have been a good pitch to bunt.
Yeah. Oh, especially one to drag bunt, pull it with you down that first base line.
Blomqvist moves back, Fales moves back as well. He's still a little wary over there. Next pitch outside for ball 1.
Yeah, trying to get Waylon White just to wave at one there. Had the 0-2 count, challenge him on the outer part of the plate, up and out of the zone.
Waylon White, though, he'll slap that to the opposite way. There's the pitch. Waylon hits it right back at Matheson. Matheson goes to third for 1. That's all they're going to get, but they cut the lead runner. So 2 out. No damage yet. That's going to bring Cale Glover. Had a single his last time up.
Yeah, Glover's had a good tournament. Really good glove out there defensively, and he's had some big hits as well. He, like you said, he had a single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out to third in his first at bat.
So Maddox Baird's at second base. Waylon White at first. So they do have some good speed still on the bases. Cale Glover, 1 for 2 in the ball game. Oh, Cutler comes with the heater up.
Yeah, a little bit of pop right there. Both these two teams even in hits out there on the board, 6 apiece.
Oh, another heater fouled off the catcher or the umpire's mask. Must have been the umpire. He's asking if he's okay, and he's saying, yep, he's good. So that evens the count at 1-1 with 2 outs, 3-2. Bottom of the 5th inning. 6 hits apiece. Cale Glover trying to change that right now. In outfield kind of shallow. All the way around. Cale Glover looks at strike 2.
Yeah, good looking pitch right there from Matheson. So far he's come in, and obviously his arm's warm. He's playing catch every inning as the catcher, but he's throwing strikes. It's a little different than just throwing back to the mound versus throwing from the mound home.
Came from more of that sidearm slot there too with that one. Full Glover. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Gonna ring him up.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum as Cutler Matheson comes in and shut down the rally of Kanab.
So, no runs on the 2 hits in the inning. No errors and 2 runners left on base. So, still 3-2 at the end of 5. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media. Yeah, your connection finds Willie Akers and Nolan Anderson at Gatesville Kearns High School. We got a good 3-2. Going in top of the 6th inning. Kanab by 1 over Beaver Beavers. Cutler Matheson now pitching, and he's going to get his first whack another whack here at Bracken McQuivy. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
McQuivy sticking with that curveball. He's had a nice curveball. Really found it in that 2nd inning, and then just has kept these Beaver hitters guessing up there.
I had him at 70 pitches coming in. There's the next pitch. Curveball, strike 2. Cutler shaking his head, so yeah,
we've seen a couple of those of the Beaver hitters too. They've been on that curveball and they've drove it to right field and they've got hits out of it. But when they've tried pulling that pitch, they've swung over the top or ground themselves out or popped up.
There's that curveball. The umpire said that must stayed up. We've seen that go both ways in the ball game. One ball, 2 strikes. That one's fouled off to the right-hand side. Stay alive.
Yeah, if you're Matheson, you've got to expect probably seeing another curveball here from McQuivy, and you've got to be able to stay on it to square that thing up.
So we'll do the 1-2 again. There's that curveball whacked and caught stuck in the glove there by R.J. Mognet.
You know, he's caught a lot of those foul tip 3rd strikes. He really, pitcher's best friend back there behind home plate.
Now batting the left fielder, number 21, Thomas Yardley.
6 strikeouts in the ball game for McQuivy. 2 walks. Brings up Dallas Yardley. He's going to get a base hit down that right field line, and he's going to do the same. Oh, is he going to go? He's going. Here's the throw. Going to have a play at second. Got him. Yes, sir. Tried to stretch the single. We're going to get into the single. Trying to stretch it into a double. Gets thrown out at second base. Good play over there by Lane Sims. Good arm to Griffin Bone. Good tag.
Yeah, and the problem was he was slowing down at first base and then took off. You're either thinking too right from the.
Well, if we'd have been listening to him, I thought he was going to do the same thing, and then he stopped. And I figured, oh no, then he goes again.
And it's got to be 2 right out of the box. Yep. Otherwise, it's just a single. But you're down 1 run too.
That 1 step was the difference. So there's a pitch, strike 1 to Deegan Bailey. Behind the plate now. Him and Matheson swapped places this last inning, last half.
Yeah, we've seen Deegan Bailey pitch, play second. Now he's playing catcher. Really one of those utility players you need on every team.
Ball swings over the top of that one. Yeah, we've seen him in the outfield before.
Yeah.
So digs himself a hole, though. 0-2 here. 2 outs. Bracken McQuivy ready to deal the 0-2. Comes the curveball hit right back at him. Oh, underneath the glove of Jackson Riddle out into center field for a base hit.
We've seen that similar thing with Kanab. They get caught stealing second base and then come up with a couple hits back to back, and then right there you get caught trying to stretch a single into a double and get thrown out and then get a hit.
Down 0-2, he drove one right back up the middle.
Yeah, so and Bailey's hit a couple hard. He lined that one right back to the pitcher. McQuivy his first time up, but he's hit it hard up the middle.
So Hoyt Blomquist at the plate now. Takes first pitch for called strike 1. McQuivey's been able to find that inside corner. Umpire's giving him that pitch.
Yeah, and Blomquist still looking for his first hit of the game.
Another throw over by McQuivey. So the 0-1. There's the pitch. That's lifted towards Waylon White in center field. Cam Petty got it for out number 3. So the F8 ends the inning for the Kanab Cowboys. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on. At the end of 5.5, it's 3-2. Kanab will be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and B6 Media.
For Beaver in the 6th, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base.
Matheson back on for his 2nd inning of work. Going to face the Kanab Cowboys, who've got a 3-2 lead. He's going to face Lane Sims, Carson Blomquist, and Jackson Riddle. Three to 2. Beaver leads in the hits 8-6. Puts down on the scoreboard by 1, 3-2. Lane Sims up. Got on an error back in the 2nd. Base on balls in the 4th. First pitch from Cutler Matheson. That sidearm slot down for ball 1.
Yeah, and just a good job right there laying off that pitch down in the zone. Kanab trying to, add to their 1-run lead right here.
Oh, swinging way under 1 that comes from that sidearm slot up in the strike zone.
Yeah, he stayed off the low pitch, but then he chased the high one right there.
That was good move by Coach Carter. You come with Matheson. Not only does it come with a change of velocity, but a different arm slot as well altogether.
That's the one thing he talked about when I asked, just asked him what he thought about this game, and kind of in the pregame interview a little bit was he had plenty of arms. They're a little bit different team than they were last year. Last year they just out-hit everybody, but just not getting a lot of runs right now.
There's a curveball that's just lifted left side. That's going to find a hole. Kobe Carter made every effort that he could to get to it and almost got there. But that's one of them tweeners we talk about. Going to look like a line drive and the line score tomorrow, but we know the truth.
Well, it makes you wonder, too, right here, what Kanab's going to do if he's going to go ahead and try to bunt one and move the runner around to get the runner in scoring position for that second part of the lineup.
Update, extra innings in the 3A. You have 2, Canyon View 2. That was after 7 complete, so they're going into the extra innings there in the 3A tournament. We're here at 2A. Carson Blomquist facing Cutler Matheson. Squares, they go.
Yeah, that's what Coach Fox is going to do. We saw him score that first run on a good executed bunt. They get the runner to second, and then on a throwing error. And so wanting to pick up an extra run right here, got no outs.
The job here is to get it to the first base side. Oh, takes a pitch. That's going to work as good as a bunt. They could bunt him to third base now.
Yeah, and if I'm Coach Fox, I'd probably do that. I'd probably stick with the bunt and get that runner 90 feet now.
Yep, the ball gets by Deegan Bailey, who had to come in and swap places, like we said, with Cutler Matheson. Don't know how much he's been behind the plate. Next pitch, so they change things up. He takes ball 2. Had not squared the bunt. Personally, myself, I'm butting him to third. Yeah, we tried.
Yep.
Had the bad angle.
Well,
third base.
And the thing right there, too, is you got Titan Phil's the third baseman. He's staying home with the runner at second base, so the pitcher's got to cover the third base side. And he tried to kind of get that one down that third baseline. And, if you do, you might be safe at first and move the runner.
So 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, take strike 2. That's going to take away the bunt. He's kind of shaking his head, but that's been a strike all day long right there. Well, not all day long, but it has been a strike from time to time. Here's the 2-2. Well, they're going to ring him up. Third ball looked like it might have been up, but umpire says not so. Second strikeout looking in the ball game today.
Baseman, number 22.
That's one thing these Kanab hitters, for the most part, they've put, like you said, the second backwards K, but it's only the second K too. They've put the ball in play.
Another one gets by Bailey, and Lane Sims ends up at third base. So, what does Coach Mason Fox do with Jackson Riddle here?
Riddle's 1 for 2. Grounded out to third base. Titan Fells his first time up and then had a single and an RBI. So I imagine you're going to let him just swing away right here, try to drive something out of the infield as Coach Carter and the Beavers come in on the grass.
Well, pops one up. It looks like it's everybody giving up on it. Must be going to get out of play back here behind us.
Yep. Beaver doing the right thing. Coach Carter brought his infield in on the grass and doesn't want to give up anything else.
Yeah, calling timeout. Got a ball.
That's the one thing you do see. A lot of kids playing ball and catch down those right field and left field grass areas where the fans can sit. You see a lot of balls get away and get out on the edge of the warning track.
So 1-1 pitch is upstairs for ball 2.
Yeah, Matheson really needs a plate out right here with 1 out, runner at third base.
Not going to get it with that pitch upstairs for 3-1. Hitters count here for Jackson Riddle. R.J. Mognet standing in the on-deck circle.
Yeah,
he's given one a scare already today.
Coach Brinkerhoff telling him, hey, it's got to be right where you want it right here on this 3-1 count.
And it was. Strike 2.
And if you're Riddle, hey, so what? Strike 2. He's going to throw the same pitch. Be ready for it here on the full count.
Don't want to go with the curveball here and chance got what he wanted, but that's going to be deep enough to tag. There's going to be a play at the plate. Here comes the air ball, but it's not going to be there. So,
yeah, Jackson Riddle does the job. He takes the high fastball and drives it into center field, and wasn't super deep, but it was deep enough as the throw was kind of up the third baseline, and no play there at home plate.
Could have been close had it been at the plate.
Number 26, Randy Mognet.
R.J. Mognet gave one a scare here his last time up. Batting with 2 outs, drives 1 foul down the third baseline. 0 for 3 today. 4-2 ball game. Bottom 6. Outside on that one.
Beaver's done a pretty good job with Mognet. He's 0 for 3 so far in this game, and they've pitched him really well.
Here's a 1-1 from Matheson to Mognet. Upstairs. balls, 1 strike. There's the 2-1. Gets that outside corner, and Magnet's taunting and says, "You haven't given that one to us yet."
Yeah, he's a little bit frustrated to talk to the umpire, but breeze starting to pick up too a little bit, Willie.
Yeah, cooling down. We saw the sun briefly in our little window here this morning. Fouls that one up. Deegan Bailey looking to, and catches it.
Yeah, really did a nice job just battling that. And Magnet still looking back home plate, not happy. Felt like he was forced to swing at that pitch.
All right, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. At the end of 6 complete, it's 4-2 Kanab. We'll be back on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and B6 Media.
Kanab in the 6th, 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, nobody left on base.
There he is talking to his bat right now, saying, "Don't fail me, don't fail me."
Where are you at on pitches for McQuivy?
McQuivy, I had him with 81. We verified that with Kurt just after the last inning. So
after that first inning, he's really settled in and done a good job, where he's going to be able to finish this game.
15-8, 16-16, 15-12. R.J. Magnet throws another strike down there to second base. So back in McQuivy.
Yeah, and the winner of this game, Willie, will turn around and play at 7 o'clock here tonight against the winner of the Enterprise Wolves and the Millard Eagles.
So, Jake Norman, that means we'll be here at that same time. We're going to be here all day long again. First pitch, I should say, to Jake Norman. Curveball. Stays upstairs for ball 1.
Yeah, and right now, obviously, it looks like Coach Carter's got the take sign on and making sure they see a strike before they start swinging.
A little change in their philosophy, but a good idea when you're down by 2. Up. Picked up there by Kale Glover at third base. Throw to first for the 5-3 put out. I was like you. I thought doing a good idea. Wait till you get a strike. You need base runners. This guy, nobody coming up here's got a 2-run home run in him till there's somebody on.
Yeah, it looked like it, but he stung that one, but just a better play defensively from Kel Glover at third base.
So 1 out. That brings up Bentley Bradshaw. 1 for 3 in the ball game with 2 strikeouts. 1 looking and 1 swinging. He turned around, steps back. Not sure what we're looking at here. No stopping the action. Bentley steps back in. Bracken steps on the rubber. We're ready to go. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Whacked. Looks like out number 2 on the F9. First pitch swinging.
Yeah, the other thing too, Kanab right now, 1 out away from moving on to that 7 o'clock game is McQuivy would have a few pitches. He might be able to get through 1 or 2 innings in that next game.
he would be available.
Now batting the second baseman, number 4, Boston Black.
I think that's his 84th pitch. When I count, that brings up Boston Black. He had a base hit his last time up. Fouls one off to the right. First pitch swinging. But this Beaver, they had that no-hitter with Jensen Kiesel back, a couple years ago in 2A. Had a chance to run the pitch count up and went to their wax. That's their strength, though.
Mm-hmm.
So one's upstairs, going to even things up at 1-1. Kobe Carter in the on-deck circle. They'd like to get him. That gives them the chance. That would be the tying run if they can get a man on ahead of him here with 2 outs. That one's drilled to center field. Waylon White drifting. He stumbled at first, but got back. He got it. So the F8's going to end the ball game. 4-2 for the Beaver Beavers. We'll be back with and close things out. Get ready for the next game on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network and V6 Media.
Since 1947, Barney Trucking has built a reputation of unparalleled customer service and satisfaction in the trucking industry. Barney Trucking is now hiring drivers statewide, including Beaver, Beaver, Sevier, Sanpete, Juliet, Carbon, Emery, Utah, and Salt Lake counties, as well as many other locations. The job includes a home daily schedule, excellent pay, benefits, training, retirement, a positive work environment, and requires a Class A CDL license with doubles endorsement. To apply, go to BarneyJobs.com. That's BarneyJobs.com.
Yep, he ended with 87 pitches, so he's got some left in him today. He can go 110 pitches total today, so he could be used in this next game. So let's give the final numbers here, and then we're going to get ready for the next ball game. The visiting Beaver Beavers, they come up with 2 runs. They do it on 8 hits, so they win that battle. But with that one error was costly to them, and they had 6 runners left on base. The hometown and the home team, Kanab Cowboys, they come up with 4 runs. They do it on just 7 hits, but they played errorless ball, and they also left 6 on. That one error come in that one inning when they scored the 1 run, and that's been the difference in the ball game. So we got another good one, as Coach Nolan just told you. We're going to be back here at Gates Field at Kearns High School. He's Nolan Anderson. I'm Willie Akers. Happy trails.
You've been listening to High School Baseball on the Mid-Utah Radio Sports Network.